Right then. Taco Tuesday here. Yeah. Got a text message this morning around 7 or so from Bert, the CEO of the company, asking if I had seen the notification for a quick meeting he was going to have this morning at 7:30. And I didn't see it, of course. So I thanked him for the heads up, and we had the meeting. It was a group meeting with a lot of people. Apparently JC, my immediate supervisor, he's in the hospital right now, in surgery right now, open heart surgery. He apparently had an aortic tear. Yeah, heart. He's always had heart problems, high blood pressure, all kinds of problems. Young guy. He's in his early 40s. He and I talked about it a couple of times when I had some possible heart scares recently, and in his case, it's hereditary. That sucks, man. Gets saddled with a serious medical affliction because of genetics. But Bert wanted to let us know what was going on. He said he'd keep us updated. Obviously, Jeremy's not going to be able to do one-on-one personal interaction with people for a while. Probably as much as he'd want to, though. He doesn't mind that. Yeah. Calling a guy after hours to shoot the shit and stuff like that. He is kind of sort of human. He's not a total demon. But yeah, that's some serious shit. When one of your main arteries decides it wants to rip open and give you an internal bleed. I can't even imagine the symptoms, what he experienced when that happened. I can't even fathom that. Where he was when it took place. And was he driving? Was he on a job? You know? That level, that magnitude of serious medical incident. Damn. Yahweh has blessed me with only one serious medical situation in my life. And yes, I'm realizing that I'm somehow making this about me. And that's kind of not cool. But I'm just making a comparison here. The only serious medical situation that happened to me so far in my life has been the onset of diverticulitis. I'm not going to explain that. Look it up. But it's a digestive issue. And that put me in the hospital for 5 days on intense antibiotics. It's an infection of the colon. I could have died from that one. All the doctors kept telling me that. But that's the most serious thing I've ever encountered medically so far, and hopefully I don't have anything major, Lord willing. But yeah, that's it's not good news. Jeremy's always talked in the past when he gets a rough stretch where they're hammering him and they're putting a lot of pressure on him, for job responsibilities or whatever the case may be. He's always reached out to me and said he was going to quit and find another job, and oh yeah, I'm out there, I'm looking for something else, and I'm leaving, and but yet he never does. It's all tough talk, But I don't know. Maybe this will change things for him. He's definitely not the kind of person like a lot of people I know in my world who right away try to file for disability and sponge off the government, and get that free paycheck at the taxpayer's expense. He's definitely not one of those guys. He's not going to sit back and try to find a way to live easy street with handouts. Yeah. So he's got some character and some sense of ethics and responsibility and whatnot. Apparently he was supposed to be up here tomorrow in my area here doing some dishwasher installs. We're having a hard time keeping worthy appliance installers to install microwaves and dishwashers, and he's filling in the gap. Yeah, he does that a lot. There's been times I've talked to him on the phone, and he's like, yeah, I'm down in Madison in a Viridian Builders subdivision putting in microwaves and dishwashers on these spec homes they're building down there. So there was 3 dishwasher installs for tomorrow that Jeremy was going to take care of, and so then in the meeting everybody was trying to be a hero. DTR spoke up and basically nominated me to do 1 or 2 of those. Back in the day, Ken and I used to install dishwashers and microwaves, so since that's up in his territory, we could go do those dishwasher installs. I didn't say anything. But everybody, and then of course the self-proclaimed best tech in the company chimes in. Well, I've got some managerial training I'm supposed to be doing tomorrow here at the DC, but that's not as important as this. I can go up there and install some dishwashers. never took my microphone off of mute. I just sat back and listened to the ass kissers. Yeah. But you never know. When I crack open my route tomorrow, you know, the puppet masters down there, they're the ones that'll figure it out and figure out who's doing what, and you know what I mean? So I don't have any say in that, so I'm just a soldier. So if I open up my route tomorrow and I see I got a dishwasher install, I'm gonna have to scramble and load and bring along tools that I used to use to do those sort of things, like a drill, a hole saw, a small appliance dolly cart, things like this that I've taken out of this van because I don't do appliance installs anymore. So we'll see. We'll go with the flow. Last night when I got home, I installed my 2 battery-operated, motion-activated shower stall lights. Not gonna lie, those are pretty cool, but the motion activation sensor is not as sensitive as I would like. Yeah. So sometimes you walk in the bathroom and it senses you're there and click, it comes on. And then other times you're waving your hand underneath the damn thing and you can't get it to turn on. I don't know. But expensive units. Nice packaging. Yeah. And they seem like good quality lights. I just wish the optical motion sensor was a little bit more sensitive. Yeah. I'd like it if the cat walked in the room and click, the light came on. But doesn't appear to be that way. So I think sometimes you're going to get in the shower and the light's not going to come on, and sometimes you will, and it'll work. Yeah. So we'll see. Yeah. So at least I was productive on something at the house. I also, when I got home, I had to get some new tips for my wand on my pressure washer. They were all plugged up with rust and stuff like that, so they wouldn't spray. So when I got home, I installed one of the new tips, and then I reworked the air conditioner that Mia bought off of Marketplace. And she, in all actuality, she straight up lied to me. She said, so anyway, I did another cleaning on it, and I got that thing shining like brand new. And so I sent her a picture, and I said, yeah, now all I got to do is put it back together, and your air conditioner will be ready for your house. She already has one. She has a small one like I have in the bookcase. But the lie was, she was telling me, oh, I'm going to put the small one in the bedroom, in her bedroom, and then that bigger one can go in the living room window, and that way it'll cool the entire rest of the house. And I'm like, yeah, it's going to work perfect. It's about 6,000 BTUs. Yeah, it's not a monster, but it'll cool off the whole front of her little house. So I got it all ready for her. And when I was done and I sent her the picture, she said, well, congratulations. You just cleaned your air conditioner really well. Like, what? Mine? Yeah, I bought that for you for the shop. Then why'd you lie to me and tell me it was for your living room? I mean, okay, thank you. That was an awesome thing to do. But, really? So I told her, I said, I think it's too small. My shop's going to be pretty big. It's got 12-foot high ceilings. It's 24 feet deep. It's going to be about probably 20 feet wide. It's a lot of space to cool down. So I was hoping to get something bigger for the shop. So I told her, I said, no, this will be perfect. It's too small for the shop, I think. This will be perfect for your front half of your house there, your living room and stuff. So I think that's where it's going to go. But she does this. She buys things for the lake house. And then, I don't know, she does it like covertly and in riddles. It's weird. So she's going to Michigan or to Minnesota today on an overnight trip with the Amish Mafia. They're running a IRA auction over in Minnesota. They're auctioneers. That's one of their business ventures that they do. So she's leaving out this afternoon around noonish or so. She's hauling an excavator over there for some reason. I don't know if they're going to auction it off or what they're doing. So she's got the big triple axle trailer on the back of the truck. She was not too happy with him yesterday. Oh, that was yesterday. She hauled an excavator to a job site. I got that wrong. On this trip, she's hauling the auctioneer trailer. But there, some sort of problem has developed with the truck that they haul the heavy equipment with. It's a diesel. And for some reason, it was blowing diesel exhaust into the vehicle. And that was really, because Mia's got asthma, respiratory problems. And it was really bothering her, so she rolled down the windows to keep the thing aired out. And the boss rolled the windows up on her. Yeah. So she had a confrontation with him about having to have the windows open because she couldn't stand the fumes in the truck. It was choking her up. These people are very inconsiderate of others. It's all about them, what they want, how they want it. They are not a considerate species. That's for sure. And as a result, on Judgment Day, it shall reflect accordingly. They're posers. They think they're walking the path of enlightenment and godliness. And all the insider information I'm getting, they are far from the path of the straight and narrow. So they're basically wasting their time going through pomp and circumstance, religious pomp and circumstance, for nothing. In the end, it's not going to get them there. It's funny, there was a video in my inbox on YouTube waiting for me about the scariest verse in the Bible. And it pertains to the fact that the majority of humanity, the chosen ones, are very few. The majority of humanity is not, their names are not written in the book of life. Meaning, in the end days, when you're standing in front of the judgment throne, God's going to look at you and he's going to say, "Depart from me. I never knew you." All these people that are running around like the diva succubus mongoose. "I'm a good person. I'm a nice person. I pray to God. God has my six." She's getting her ass kicked with bad karma. They're going to stand in front of God, and he's going to look at him and say, "Depart from me, for I never knew you. You are not one of the chosen. You did not follow the protocol and the procedures to spend eternity in heaven." And pork roast time for you. So these Amish people, they got it all wrong. Yep. Yeah. As do a lot of others. Anyway, I digress. Going down a rabbit hole that's very contentious. Yeah. Four calls today. Two of them are putting on parts that I ordered. The other two are diagnostics. I'm going back to these elderly people that were sold a state-of-the-art all-in-one washer-dryer combo unit that's way too complicated for them to operate and maintain. Yep. Yep. I'm going back there. The complaint this time is sometimes the door doesn't lock. No idea what that is. I'll hook the computer up to it and I will see, thank goodness for this Newfie computer, I'll see how many fault codes are actually registered in memory from a door lock failure. And that'll tell me if it's a valid complaint or not. But I strongly suspect, because I kind of told these people, I had pity on them. They obviously have buyer's remorse. They hate the machine. They asked me if there was a way that they could trade it in and get something different. And I said, no. Your only recourse is to get the unit cleaned up, working well, and sell it on Marketplace. Try to recoup some of your money, and then get something different. That's it. We don't take returns, exchanges, just because you have buyer's remorse. Yeah. You bought it. It's yours. It's your mistake. But in this particular case, they were sold a false bill of goods. This is my opinion. By the sales rep who was just looking at dollar signs for themselves for a high commission. Yeah. The more expensive appliances you sell, the bigger the commission on the sale. So these poor folk came in, don't know their head from a hole in the ground, and they were sold a machine that's not right for them at all. Yeah. So they were trying to figure out a way to get rid of it. And they can't. They're stuck with it. So what I told him the last time I was there was this lint trap system on this particular machine is very complicated, um, and is um, very finicky, needs a lot of constant maintenance attention. Above and beyond taking out a lint trap filter on a dryer, scooping all the lint off, throwing it in the garbage, and putting it back in the slot. Oh yeah, you gotta do that. But you actually have to take apart this lint filter assembly. It opens up like a book, and there's an inner filtration foam piece that has to be taken out, put in the sink, all the lint rinsed off, the outer screen cartridge, that has to be done. It's very fiddly. And that's just a cartridge. Now you have to go into the housing where that cartridge slides in and out like well, in this case, it's like a drop-in box. And you got to clean all the lint out of this housing. And the way the manufacturer designed the housing, I had one of these yesterday. It was a GE unit. You could not get a vacuum cleaner nozzle in there to pull all the lint out of the housing. And therefore the lint would block up all of the airflow discharge openings, and the unit won't dry your clothes. When I pulled up the computer error codes on this GE unit yesterday, there was a critical fault error in there for the compressor overheating. Yeah, it uses refrigeration to dry your clothes. Yep. It's literally like working on the space shuttle. It's horrible. And it's all stuff that's being cranked out from South Korea, where all the technology and electronics and stuff is the hub of production for that sort, and invention for that sort of thing is, taking place. In the United States here, we still understand people just want to wash their clothes and dry their clothes. So let's not throw a lot of gadgets and gizmos and gimmicks at the machine and dazzle them with all the pretty lights and all this other stuff. Let's just build a bare bones machine that does what it's supposed to do. The domesticated products are still kind of sort of following those guidelines. So this is why I brag about Frigidaire and Electrolux so much. It's still simplified to a certain extent. But GE, LG, Samsung, they're all getting out of control. Ventless dryers. Yeah. I had one yesterday. The installers forgot to hook up the little drain hose for the condensation pump that pumps the condensate water out of the dryer after the ventless dryer, which uses refrigeration. It was an LG stack unit. Dries your clothes. They didn't hook up that drain hose, and when the pump would come on, it was just literally sandblasting the wall with water. So when I go back to this house today, once again, this will be the fourth time that I will clean out this lint box for this customer, because they can't do it. They're too elderly to do it. So they're having their son come over and maintain the machine for them. Well, he's got a busy life, right? He can't come over and do it once a month or once every 2 weeks like it should be done. Yeah, you got to babysit this machine. He doesn't have the freedom to do that. I'm pretty sure the elderly people totally forget about it. They don't have a calendar with a schedule set up on there. Oh, we gotta call Joel. He's gotta come over. 2 weeks has gone by. He's gotta come over and clean the lint trap system on this fancy new spaceship we bought. No. They do something about it when the warning light comes on. So I'll use the Newfie tool to see how many codes are in it from a door lock problem. And I'll take my shop vac and I'll clean that lint box out for him again. But I told him, I said, you have 1 year warranty from the manufacturer if you didn't buy the extended warranty. Which in this case would have been money well spent. That I can come out and do these maintenance things for you under the guise of a malfunction of the unit, get it covered under warranty, and then you're on your own. Yep. So, but Mia's on an overnighter over in Minnesota. Yep. She doesn't appear to be making any moves or have any thought process as far as distancing herself from this Amish mafia situation she's in. As a matter of fact, she said drivers for this community are dropping like flies. They're quitting. The community as a whole, multiple families that have hired personal drivers for their family, there's only 3 left. Her, another guy, and somebody else. Everybody else has quit. And I asked, I said, for what reasons? She doesn't know. She didn't know the details. But they've all walked away. So now, in her head, even though she didn't admit this, this gives her a sense of responsibility and loyalty to the mafia, because she's one of the remaining 3. So I think that's going through her head. But she's not making any at least she's not telling me. Again, she talks in riddles. She's not making any plans, it seems, to leave this organization. And either do something different or just retire, in essence, up at the lake house. Yeah. As a matter of fact, this morning she made a comment, oh, just another day in paradise. And I said, you're not living in paradise. I said, paradise is a lake house. And she's like, well, I like my paradise, sitting on the porch here. So she's sitting in a neighborhood with a drug rehab facility, kitty corner from her house, traffic, noise, whatever. I guess she's like me, make the best of whatever situation you're currently in, you know? Yeah. I don't know. All right, enough rambling. Talk to you soon.